Hi, this is Anthony Dyer speaking here, and I'm just going through a demonstration of my pedal board. So, focused in on the main pedals that I'm going to be looking at today. So, you've got the reverb pedal here on the left hand side, which is the Verb Square, then the delay pedal, which is the Echo Square, the chorus pedal, which is the Mad Square, the octave pedal, which is called Pure Octave, and also distortion pedal over here. I've got two actually. There's the giant metal one, which I'll look at briefly, but the main one is called the Dark Mouse, which gives a very nice lead sound there. I also have other effects here. I've got a tuner first and foremost, which I go straight into there, into the board. I say these are all pedals manufactured by Donner. And then we've got a compressor, which I don't use, a boost, which I sometimes use for solos, and also an auto wah. I haven't got my wah actually plugged in here today. I normally have that going in before the board, but the auto wah is more of a backup if there's a problem with the wah really. There's also a noise killer, which I've never used there, probably should. So at the moment, no effects on. Excuse me, just going dry into this amp here, the Boss Katana 50. So this is it on its own. No effects there. So we'll put on the reverb pedal. As you can see on the left hand side here, the level I've got set very low, as well as the decay, but the tone very high. So it's quite rich, but not too much of an over effect. So here, it just adds a nice little bit. It's being totally dry, so without it and with it, so it just adds a little bit. If I was to turn that all the way up, the level, that's what you get. It's a little bit overpowering, and massively overpowering if you turn the decay up as well. Well, it is anyway for for what I need it for. I just need something to take the edge off the clean sound, just give it a little bit of reverb, so I have it set quite low. And I always have this pedal on when I'm using the delay pedal here and the chorus pedal. So if we look at the delay, I've got it set high in the mix, low on the time setting, which is gives it delays at a faster rate. So when I'm using it playing little lead parts to add a little bit of texture or atmosphere, I don't want the notes to be clashing when there's too slow of a delay. So here it's set high at the moment. So this is what it sounds like. So without, I'll try it with the reverb as well. But if I was to turn the time setting all the way at the top, it's not what I'm looking for, but that's, you could do some interesting things with that. So I'd have that down low. But again, if you were to turn the feedback all the way up, I'd have the same effect as turning the decay all the way up on the reverb. It would be a bit much. That time all the way up. So crazy. I've got neighbours, I'll turn that off. So yeah, I'll have time all the way down, high in the mix, and low on feedback, just to add a little bit of fast delay there. Again with the reverb, without, doesn't quite sound the same. It's off with the delay, leaving the reverb on, and then into the chorus. Well, technically it's a multi-effects modulator, so it has other effects here. So just be close to have a look. We've got flanger on the right hand side, and vibrato, rotary at the top there, tremolo, then phaser, and then on the left hand side here, two different chorus settings. So I'll look at those because I'm covering chorus mainly. It's just handy that obviously this is a Donner pedal here as well, so I might as well cover this with with the other one. So the first chorus sound, chorus A, it's quite nice, but I prefer this one, chorus B. It sounds a little warmer. So again, I've got the level set fairly high. The depth not too much, because then it's not quite what I'm looking for, but you get the idea of what that does. It sounds like it's knocking it out of tune a little bit, so I have that about the same as the volume, and the rate a little bit less than that normally, because if that's all the way up, this is what you get with that. Sounds really out of tune, so rate down to a bit less than the depth, and then on chorus B, that's the sound I like. Again, without the reverb, it's not quite the same. So those are my three go-to pedals essentially. The octave I really haven't used very much, but you've got the three settings here, the dry setting in the middle, and then this setting which is preset. So every time you turn to a preset, so if I leave the reverb on, turn this on, we'll start on this preset. Then you've got the sub setting and the upper setting, so as soon as you start using these settings, it'll then alter that preset, as far as I'm aware from what I've used. So if I turn the sub setting all the way up, you can really hear that in the mix now. If I turn the upper setting all the way up, you can hear that a lot more, but the upper setting left up with the sub down, and then the other way around, invert that. So if I leave on those settings, then I change to another preset, like this one, and then I can just adjust it how I like. Some crazy sounds, so try one over from this side. So you make some really interesting sounds, but I haven't used that a great deal. So a quick mention for these other pedals, now that I've covered the main effects. So the dynamic wah, which is essentially a backup for the auto wah, but it is very decent. I'm not going through all the settings, but just a quick go of it. See, the more intensity you put in, the more wah sound that you get, so playing it a lot softer and playing it a bit harder. So yeah, it's a decent pedal. And I've got a boost pedal, which I'll show you with these distortions very briefly. So this is my favourite pedal for out of the two distortions for solos. So you see I've got the gain setting all the way up, and it's a very smooth sounding lead pedal. I wouldn't say so much for rhythm, especially like hard rock or metal, but give you an idea of what it sounds like. First of all, with the reverb, and then you can see why I don't leave the reverb on, because it doesn't sound very clear. It's certainly not as clear as it is without it. So this is it with the level down very low, the filter just over halfway, which I'll show you in a moment, and the distortion all the way up, with how it's still a very smooth lead sound. So I'll take a bit off that as well. We have it just a little bit under, I'd say about there. The filter, if you turn that all the way to the right and shape the sound, it's a bit thinner there, cuts through more, so I like to have it about halfway and a little bit off full, a little over 3/4 there again. So really good pedal. Another one here briefly is for the Giant Metal pedal. I don't really like it for if I was going to play rhythm. I would rather just go straight into the amp, because although it's quite a, sounds like a bit of an imitation of like a chunky metal sound, if you can hear what I mean here, it's a bit thin. You can shape the tone here if I've got distortion all the way up. It's still very thin, but it does give a nice lead sound. The one that will cut through anyway, but especially if you apply the boost to it. It gives you another option. If you put the two together, and with the boost, so definitely gives you a lot of options. So that's the review of my pedal board. Thank you very much.